The crowd was restless, half distracted, half bored, the way audiences get when they think they already know how a story will end. Phones glowed in hands, judges shuffled papers, and no one paid much attention to the thin young woman standing quietly at the edge of the stage. Her jacket was worn, her shoes scuffed, her hair tied back not for style but for survival. When the host finally asked her name, her voice trembled as she said it, and when she shared her age, 25, some people nodded politely, already preparing to forget her. What no one knew was that the next few minutes would change everything. Before the first note even left her lips, if you're watching this right now, pause for just a second, because stories like this deserve to be felt fully. If you believe in second chances, in hidden talent, in hope where no one is looking, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to hear is not just a performance, it's a life poured into a song. She had not always been homeless. Once, she had a small room painted pale blue, a bed by the window, and a father who used to hum while fixing broken things around the house. Her mother died when she was young, and after that it was just the two of them against the world. Her father wasn't rich, wasn't famous, but he had music in his bones. At night, after long shifts at the factory, he would sit with an old guitar, its wood cracked and strings replaced too many times, and sing songs he had written himself. They weren't perfect, but they were honest. He wrote one song just for her, a simple melody about staying strong, about finding light even when the world turns dark. He used to say, if you ever feel lost, this song will find you. Life didn't stay gentle. When she was 19, her father got sick. Medical bills piled up faster than hope, and the small safety they had built slowly collapsed. She worked 2 jobs while studying, barely sleeping, barely breathing. The night he passed away, she sat alone on the hospital steps, clutching his guitar case, realizing that the world suddenly felt enormous and empty. Without him, without savings, without family, everything unraveled. One missed rent payment turned into eviction. One couch to sleep on turned into none. Before she knew it, she was carrying her life in a backpack and sleeping wherever she could find a corner that felt slightly safe. Homelessness changes you. Not just how you live, but how people look at you or don't look at you at all. She learned how to be invisible. Days were spent searching for work, nights trying to stay warm, and in between, she sang. Sometimes on the street, sometimes in shelters, sometimes just to herself. Singing was the only time she felt close to her father again. His song became her anchor. Every lyric reminded her that she was still his daughter, still someone who mattered. One afternoon, she saw a poster about auditions. It felt like a joke at first. People like her didn't belong on stages with lights and cameras. But something inside her stirred, a quiet but stubborn voice that sounded a lot like her father. Try, it whispered. She almost didn't go. She stood outside the building for an hour, watching confident singers walk in with perfect hair and supportive friends. Finally, gripping the guitar that once belonged to her father, she stepped inside. Standing on that stage now, under bright lights that made it hard to see the audience, she felt small again. When asked about her background, she hesitated, then told the truth. She said she was homeless. A murmur rippled through the crowd, sympathy mixed with skepticism. Then she explained the song she was about to sing. It was written by her father. He had passed away. This song was the last piece of him she still carried. The room grew quieter, not out of politeness, but anticipation. The first note was soft, almost fragile. Her voice wavered, not from lack of skill, but from memory. Then something happened. The song settled into her, and her voice grew steady, rich with emotion. Every word carried years of loss, love, and longing. She wasn't just singing to the audience, she was singing to her father, to herself, to every person who had ever felt forgotten. Tears formed in the eyes of strangers who didn't know why they were crying, only that they couldn't stop. The judges leaned forward. The audience forgot their phones. The song rose and fell like a heartbeat, and when she reached the final verse, her voice cracked, not in weakness, but in truth. The last note hung in the air, trembling, before fading into silence. For a moment, no one moved. Then the room erupted. Applause thundered, people stood, some openly sobbing. One judge wiped their eyes before speaking, voice thick with emotion, saying that this was more than a performance, it was a reminder of why music exists. She stood there shaking, overwhelmed, as praise washed over her. But what mattered most wasn't the comments or the cheers. It was the feeling that her father's song had finally been heard the way it deserved. That threw her, he was alive again, if only for a few minutes. Her life didn't magically become perfect after that day. Healing never works that way. But doors opened. People reached out. Opportunities appeared where there had once been nothing. Slowly, she found stability, then purpose. She began working with shelters, using music to help others tell their stories. Every time she sang her father's song, she felt stronger, like she was carrying forward his legacy. This story isn't just about a homeless daughter or a powerful song. It's about resilience. It's about the quiet courage to stand up when the world expects you to stay down. It's about the idea that no matter how invisible you feel, your voice still matters. If this story moved you even a little, let it remind you to be kind, to listen, and to believe in unseen potential. And if you want more stories that touch the heart and restore faith in humanity, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because somewhere out there, another unheard song is waiting, and together, we can help the Kabi Kabi Surf Ekawaz Puri Denaya Ko Kamash Kar Dedi Hai. Orastin, Jishiko Andazanahi the Kuek 25 Sulki Homeless Latki Asi Awaz Banegi Jo Dylan Ko Ochir Kar Rock Deji. Agar Abasi Kahani and Par Yakin Rakti Hojo Surf Suni Nahi Jadi Balke Mrs. Kijadi Hain, to video ko like Carrion or channel ko subscribe Carrion, Kyan Kajo Abisun Jaratio, Wo Surf Kahani Nani, X Zindagi Hai. Audience Thaki Hui T, judges Bohat Kuch Dek Chukthe, or Jab Wo Ladki Stage Par Ai to Logon Ni Surf Uski Kapre Dek. Purani Jacket, Gise Hu Jute, or Ankon Main Wo the Kenjo Surf Sudak Janti Hai. Jabasan Bataya Kawo 25 Sulki Hai or Homeless Hai, to Hol Main Kamoshi Chagai. Log Samaj Ge Kashayat Ek or Dardbari Kahani Hogi, Magar Jishi Ko Andazanahi the Kuwage Kia Honwala Hai. Wo Hamesha Esi Asi Nahi T. Kabiaska Biek Kota Esegar the Jahan Diwari and Sudi Nahi Balke Yaden Sibari Hodi T. Uska Bap Factory Main Kom Karta the Din Bar Thak Jata, Magar Rat Ko Ogatar Uthata or Beti Kuliya Gata. Uski Awaz Perfect Nahi Hodi T, Magar Uzmi and Sach Hota the. Ek Gana Usan Surf Apni Beti Kuliya Lika the. Woketa the Agar Kabi Zindagi Mushkil Hoje, Tiyagana Tumhain Yad Dilayega Kutame Kili Nahi Ho. Fur Zindagi Ni Sab Kuch Chin Lia. Bimari Aa Gai, Bils Bartgay, or Ek Din Uska Bap Chula Gaya. Hospital Ko Bahar Woe Kili Baiti Rehi, Hoth Main Surf Guitar or Dil Main Puri Denaya Kaboj. Kuch Mahino Main Gar Chula Gaya, Fur Naukri, Fur Log. Or Akir Main Suduk. Homeless Hona Surf Chat Ko Dina Nahi Hoda, Ya Apni Pechan Ko Dina Hoda Hai. Log Dek Kar Bi Nahi Dekt, Sun Kar Bi Nahi Sunte. Magar Jab Wo Gadi T, use like to the Kuuska Bap Pas Hai Hai. Wohi Gana, Wohi Awaz, Wohi Umid. Ek Dinas Audition Ka Poster Deka. Dil Nikah, Tum Nahi Jasakti. Magar Yaden Nikah, Tricaro. Or Aaj Wo Stage Parkuri T. Lights Tes T, Hoth Camp Rathi Usan Surfad Nikah, Yagunamir Walid Ni Lika the. Fur Guitara Thea, Sans Li, or Pela Note Nikla. Awas Hockey Sekanpi, for Mazbud Hogai. Gain Main Buk T, Mohabbat T, or Salan Ka Intazar the. Judges Age Juk Gay, Audience Aro Rehi T. Jishi Ne Phone Nahi Athea. Sab Surf Masuz Kar Rahi Thay. Jabakri Linai, Uski Awaz Tut Gai, Magar Yatitna Kamzori Nahi the, Yesach the. Last note Kabad Pora Hal Kamash Ho Gaya. For Talian Ka Tufan Aa Gaya. Log Kori Ho Gay, Judges Ki Ankon Main Ansathe. Ek Nikat Aj Hum Surf Gana Nahi Suna, Hum Zindagi Suni Hai. Ustin Kabad Zindagi Akanak Perfect Nahi Hui, Magar Rast Kul Gay. Log Mil Gay. Umid Wapas Aa Gai. Aj Wo Shelters Main Gadi Hai, Unlogon Kuliya Jinhain Denaya Nahi Suwanti. Or har bar jab wo apni bapka ganagati hai, use like to haiku kahin na kahin, wo maskarada haga. Ya kahani surfak ladki ki nahi. Ya unsab kuli ya hai jo kud ko bulahwamas kardi hain. Agar apimante hokahara was kiandi hodi hai, to video ko like carrion, channel ko subscribe carrion, kyun kashayat aglagana, aglasach, agladard, apka hodot world listen.